Hey YouTube, what's going on, and welcome back to Cairo and His Things. Today we're going to be looking at Wuben's newest offering, the E7. Alright, well let's get right into it. As far as the size dimensions on this, we're looking at 2.38 inches long, and then we're looking at 0.94 inch wide, and then we have 1.1 inch in depth from front to back. As far as weight, we're looking at 80 grams, and that includes the 18350 battery inside. Now, one thing that's really neat about this is I know with a lot of these newer lights that have these unique designs to them, most of them have batteries that cannot be replaced. But down here, we can unscrew our magnetic cap. And voila, an 18350 battery pops out. So you can actually replace the battery on this if you would like. Now, on this cap, while we're already down here, we might as well take a look at it. This has a very, very strong magnet on the back here. This is really, really good. It has no slide whatsoever. When you stick this on something metal, it absolutely sticks right in place, and it's great. So very, very good magnet on this. I would say nearly just as strong as the L1 that comes in their larger 90-degree angle flashlight. Is pretty much the same magnet I think that's in the bottom of this, or is very close. So very, very good magnet there. Now on the top here, you'll see that we have USB-C charging, which is awesome. I absolutely love the X3 that Wuben came out with. That is, however, wireless charging. I'm really glad that they did USB-C charging on this. And now one thing that's kind of neat is that, see this little printout here for the grooves for the USB-C. Once you get it just a little bit in place here, it just snaps right into place on its own. So all you have to do is kind of let it fit itself into those grooves just barely, and it'll just pop right in. So really nice flap there. It stays down really well, and you'll see like me just taking my fingernail across it does not lift it up by itself, but you have to actually purposely lift up on it. Now moving on here to this button. It's actually a nice little button here. I think it might be a piece of very thin metal or very strong plastic. One of the two. I think it's probably a little bit of a thin stainless steel button if I had to guess though. And so when we click down on that, you'll see that it does give us a battery indicator right there, which is showing blue. Off the top of my head, I believe that means over 70% battery. Now it'll get red when you get down below. I think it's 30% or flashing red. And then when we click that, it does have a very good click to it, if you can hear that. Okay. And moving on here, we have the deep carry clip. So I really like what they did with this clip here, because you'll see that they curved it up here on the top, which I love when they do that. And the clip goes pretty much the entire way of the body. So basically, when you sit this in your pocket like so, here's going to be the top of your pocket. So this thing stays pretty much just about fully covered in your pocket. It's not sticking up out of your pocket. Most flashlights stick up a little bit. This thing stays almost completely covered. So this is very much a deep pocket carry. So that's really nice. Okay. Now we also have indents in the body here, as you can see, on both sides. So that actually makes it pretty comfortable to grab when you're using it. Like, I feel like my fingers just slide right into place there. It's pretty nice. I like that a lot. Now, as far as the emitters here, this actually appears to be the exact same head design that we have on the Wuben X3. And so I put my X3 up against this, and it looks like it's the exact same dimensions as far as what I could tell. The same little layout here of this like rectangle and the shape into the cylinder here. Like it's the exact same, except the actual emitters that are inside aren't the same. But so you basically have a Wuben X3 head on the side of your E7 here, okay? And so both of these emitters are exactly the same. It's not a red light or anything. You've got two Osram P9 emitters in there. So that's pretty nice. So you're getting double the action there on your white light. Now, I happen to go with a cool white on mine. You can get this in a warmer white. You can get this in 5000K, which is more neutral. But I got mine in the 6500K. Gives you a little bit of extra brightness on it, but to each their own, okay? Now, as far as the specs for the emitters, we are looking at a max of 1800 lumens on this little guy. So that's pretty good, and that goes to 132 meters listed. And your beam profile is going to be that of a more floody or neutral beam profile. It is not meant to be a throwy beam. It's not like an SFT40 or nothing like that. We also do get a strobe out of this, which gives us 1000 lumens. So I'll show you real quick here. Here's our turbo, okay? There's our 1800 lumens. There's our strobe, which is not quite as bright as 1000 lumens, but still plenty bright, right? Turn that back off. And then as far as the rest of the output and run times, so for the 1800, when you do that on turbo, that never is going to last long on those turbo numbers. So that lasts a minute, and then it's going to drop down to, it's going to eventually drop down to 400 lumens there pretty quickly, which will last for 1.2 hours. Now, on the high mode, you're looking at 400 lumens, and that lasts for a total of 1.3 hours. And then on medium mode, which is where I expect most people to use this light for the majority of time, that's your 150 lumens at 4.5 hours of use, which isn't bad out of a little 18350 battery. And then on low mode, we have 5 lumens at 60 hours. Now, some additional notes, we are looking at an IP68 rating. It does have a very basic user interface. So what this is it's just a click to turn on, click to turn off, okay? Holding from off does absolutely nothing. When you click it on, you hold down, and it cycles you through low, medium, high, low, medium, high. and you can click to turn it off. Very, very basic, pretty much as simple as it gets. And then you're looking at double click for turbo, triple click for strobe, triple click again for SOS, single click to turn it back to standard, and single click to go off. So 99% of the time, you're just going to be click and then holding low, medium, high to whatever you want, and click to turn it off, and that's it. So very, very simple user interface on this. Definitely a light that's comfortable and easy to use for everyone in the community. Now, one thing that I will say that I really wish they would have done on this is I believe that it would not have been too difficult just to allow to where when you hold from off to go into moonlight mode, give me either 1 lumen or give me sublumen. I prefer going under 1 lumen, but I won't complain if you give me a 1 lumen mode where you hold from off and then you can hold down to cycle through for more. I don't know why we continue to get lights that, like its lowest mode is 5 lumens, 10 lumens, etc. There needs to be a max 1 lumen mode, and the reason is because, like, for example, just last night I used this light. It was in the middle of the night. It was pitch black in the house. I needed a light. I grabbed it, turned it on its lowest mode, and when you're sitting there in the pitch black and you go to walk through the house with 5 lumens, it is way too bright. Not only is it hard on my eyes, but I'm trying not to wake everybody else up in the house, and it is just far too much to have 5 lumens. That doesn't sound like much, but in the middle of the night, indoors, it absolutely is. There needs to be a 1 lumen max mode, preferably sublumen. So Wuben, I would love if you would add a hold straight to moonlight mode on this, and then I think you're looking at a really, really great light. So with all that said, those are the basics. It's a very, very simple light, very, very simple to review even, just because it's straight to the point for the most part. So let's take a look at some beam shots that we have. Now that we've got a chance to look at those beam shots, I really think that this is a great light. But one thing you may be asking yourself is, this looks just like the Wuben X0. So what is the deal there? And so I'll tell you, there is a little bit of difference here between the E7, which is what we have here, and the X0 that's part of the X line that they have. Now I have the X1, I have the X2, I have the X3 of that Wuben X line. I do not have the X0, but I know about it. I'm pretty familiar with it. And I will say that I like this E7 a little bit better for what you get. Now, Wuben, if you happen to watch this video, I would love to do a review on a titanium version of the X0. I think those look really cool, and I think that it would be great to be able to compare it with a standard Wuben E7. But so let's cover this real quick. So the E7 actually puts out a max of 1800 lumens. The X0 puts out 900 lumens, okay? So you're getting more lumens out of the E7, all right? The major difference here, though, is price. this we're looking at $30 on Amazon. This thing is cheap. It is not, and when I say that, it is very good quality, but it is very, very inexpensive for what you get. So you get a lot of light here for a little bit of money. I love that. $30. And that's on Amazon or direct from Wuben. On the X0, we're looking at $60, so double the price. So what is it you're getting out of the X0? Well, mainly up top here, instead of us having this USB-C flap, which I really, really like this flap that they used in this button like this, it is a metal cover that's magnetic that works just like the Wuben X2, where you kind of lift it up and you can charge it from there, and you can just press down on that little metal button cover, and that's how you can turn the light on and off and all that stuff. So that's the main difference right there, is that it's just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. It looks a little bit better on the X0, and that's where I think it would be great to do a review on the titanium XO, because that's really where the XO shines. Is it's basically like taking an E7 and making it pretty, right? It's like dressing it up. But if you don't need something that's a looker, if you don't need something that you need to show off to your friends based on the actual body of the light, this is the one to get right here. And so I will admit to you that I got the one that does not come with the headband. I did try two different headbands on this. I tried an Army Tech headband, which has that plastic clip up front. I could get the light in, but it would not stay in the clip for that headband. And then I tried to get it in a Wuben headband, a Workhorse headband, which has the two rubber rings, and I could not get this to go in that one really at all. So if you want to use this as a headlamp specifically, you're going to want to spend those extra $8, I believe it is, and order the headband with this, so that you can get one that's specifically made for this light. But if you're just looking for a small 18350 pocket carry that you can use as a right angle light, great piece right here. I definitely recommend it, and I think for the price, getting those 1800 max lumens, getting dual emitters, very strong magnetic base, super deep pocket carry, comfortable, good button, really, really easy to use interface. I think this is absolutely worth it for $30. The only thing is, again, I'll say, I just really wish it had moonlight mode. That would make this light over the top for me. But if you're looking for something that's got a little bit more character in the way that it looks, you can always go with the XO, which puts that metal plate on top and gives you a lot of cool designs that you can go with between titanium, and you can even go with white and aluminum. So you can kind of dress it up a little bit. For this one though, this is plain Jane, but man, it's a workhorse and it does the job. So I'm definitely going to recommend this light, and thank you so much for watching.